Today's date is July 3rd, 2026. Let me double check this. 9:30 at night. That's what I said in the last video, so I might have been off on that one. I've just been, oh yeah, I said 9, 5, 9, 10. Alright, it's basically 9:30 at night. Now, if you're wondering how and why I'm an introvert, I had to raise my mom, my sister, and myself. Everybody basically knows that across the whole entire world. Which means an adult needed me to raise her, because she wasn't raising me or my sister. My sister needed me because my adult mother wasn't raising us because she needed me to raise her. So that means my sister needed me to raise her. I needed to raise myself because my adult mother wasn't raising me or my sister. So I stepped in and did that where the need was needed of the void of it. That's partly how I'm so capable as an adult of interpreting and understanding things so clearly. But then I'm going to add this too. I kind of commented probably about 3 months ago about the way the government kind of operates. Where they go from the beginning, skip the whole in between, and go straight to the end of things. Like, let's go from Old English to Modern English. They'll talk about the beginning, the alpha, and the end of it, which is 2026 of meaning omega part. So they'll talk about the alpha, the beginning, and the omega, the end, and not the in between. So if you take the founding documents where it starts with Old English to which they'll teach you in elementary that the founding documents are written in Old English, to modern time, they even did this with us in the 80s, 90s, of middle school, where it says, yeah, we read, write, and speak in modern English compared to Old English. Now, why would they do that? But yet you didn't care to investigate, once again, of the twistedness of how they go from Old English in only 250 years, Trump, to where they have modern English. There's meanings got twisted purposely to hide the freedoms and rights of this nation. And then if you add in the fact they regulate, okay, everybody knows that currency in this nation is a promissory note. It ain't even owned by you. It's owned by the Federal Reserve, the federal government, and state governments. Every coin and bill in your bank account, your pocketbook, or anywhere you have it online is owned by them. It's a promissory note. You don't even own that money. I don't even own money that I may spend or not. Technically, they're still stating it's a promissory note. Now, let's interpret that with the regulations of any industry, of any company, of any angle of this country. That's a promissory company then, and promissory land it's on that the owners don't even own of their business because it's regulated by the government. Now, let's say you buy some land and you want to build a house on it. The government's going to regulate how the carpenter or you can build it. That means that's a promissory land and home to the government still, just like every business. And every dollar bill and coin is a promissory currency which proves you never cared to investigate the fact that it went from Old English to Modern English, of the twisted interpretation of why they did that. So that also means you only cared about fattening your pocketbooks, which means they know that, which means they're playing you because you cared about precious, a currency, item, a bill form, or material of metal, of currency, of items, precious. But you didn't care to investigate even why. In elementary they said, oh, documents are written in Old English. And in middle school they go, but we speak and interpret and speak to each other in modern English. They're basically saying from the alpha to omega, of that point of the foundationals until modern time, that they purposely twisted it, but they won't tell you that in between this. They'll tell you the beginning and the end, the alpha and omega, but they won't tell you the difference in between. Kind of like Trump does with putting extra tax on stocks, and whether you buy them or sell them, he put extra tax on it the first term he was in. Between that was Biden, now he's in the second term, kind of thing. Well, I'll tell you the reason why. Me. Because he's seen how well I did during the complete downfall during COVID of the stock market, of me only putting $350 in the marketplace. 2 months later is when I finally decided to look at it, and that's how I set up in my mind. I go, I will not look back at it until 2 months later. And I said also to myself, it will be doubled. Now, during that 2 months, that collapse of the marketplace was so bad they had to pause the stock market for a week at one point, and they paused it 2 other times for like 2 or 3 different days. Those 2 other times, I wasn't even fearful. I already knew, with my understanding of almost perfected of that understanding of the marketplace, it would double, even in that complete crash of COVID, of me putting the money in there when I was at DHL with a portion of that paycheck that I did so with. Now, Trump won't just put the extra taxes on it, but he didn't tell you about the beginning or the end of the reason why, or I mean the in between all that. To why he wanted to put extra tax on buying or selling even shares in the marketplace of any company. It's me. The in between is, and he uses it as an excuse because he knows I'm that brilliantly smart. Then, now interpret why you never cared to investigate from Old English to Modern English, although they tell you right between that they twisted it without directly saying it. Because you didn't care, you just wanted money. You don't care about the person next to you and next to your neighbor. Your property and house is just a promissory property and house that the government owns because they regulated how it was built or not. Even if you tried to build it yourself, every business regulated. Those are just promissory companies of promissory properties they're on to the government. They still own them, and they won't tell you that. They'll tell you from the beginning and end, but nothing in between all that causes. And the reason why is because they want to pull the rug from underneath you of one day, because no one's going to be able to interpret the freedoms and rights properly, and you won't be able to defend yourself with the actual literature of our freedoms and rights in a courtroom properly at all, because you don't know, you didn't care to investigate how it went from Old English even to Modern English. That proves you don't care. Have fun knowing that every house, every property is owned by the government. Every item of currency, because you wanted precious items of currency, that's the only thing you ever cared about, not even investigating that, of our freedoms and rights and interpretation from Old and Modern. And have fun knowing that every business is a promissory business also. And the property it's on even is a promissory property that the government states they own to regulate. Precious, huh? That's what you wanted, right? Not to care. You just care about fattening your pocketbook with precious. Have fun once Christ comes back.